My first experience with the school was in 2006, and Nitai comes up to me and says, Sita, we need a girl for our basketball team. We need to be co-ed, otherwise we won't get any games. I've barely played basketball, and you're asking me to play on the freshman boys team. Okay. So I went into it, and I was really looking forward to it because I love sports. But I was also kind of wondering, well, how much am I going to be accepted? Because here, I'm substantially younger than everyone else, and I'm a girl, and so there's all that sort of thing. But that wasn't what I found. Everyone was very including. I remember actually David Kressman, who graduated last year, he took the time to teach me how to shoot a basketball. And just their patience and their understanding of someone learning showed me that this is really somewhere I want to go to high school.
Living Wisdom School prepares a student to not only to know what it is that motivates them deeply, but to have the tools to be able to manifest that. The teachers are going to try to find out what are the things that really deeply interest them and motivate them, and what are they actually going to be able to give their energy to joyfully as they become adults.
Theater was a strength. Then for English in high school, I was able to write a play and direct it. You know, there was enthusiasm, go with the child's enthusiasm.
Not only do we look at the child's strengths, but we also lead with inspiration, because whatever I can be excited or inspired about, I can then pass on that same inspiration onto the kids.
We really designed the curriculum to fit the child as opposed to fitting the child into curriculum.
Being free to move the curriculum by inspiration allows an adaptability and a freedom to direct the experience towards developing the individual.
It's a lot about working with energy. If you come in on a Monday morning and everybody's just asleep on the floor, you need to get their energy moving, versus a Friday afternoon where kids are bouncing off the walls. Then you have to bring their energy much more central and then work with their energy that way. So you're constantly adjusting your curriculum and the flow of the day to meet the moment-to-moment needs of the students.
If you struggle in math, you have the opportunity to be helped and work with that. And if you really excel at math, you can go as far as you want.
You can work at your own pace and not be like pushed forward or held back.
The Living Wisdom School offers an educational opportunity that it can be found nowhere else.
Purposely, the class sizes are small enough to make it possible for the teacher to have an in-depth connection with each student.
I can hold 12 students with my energy and go to the pond and do science, whereas it might be more challenging with a much larger class.
These schools are about giving the teacher a chance to know the whole child so that you can know what that particular child needs. Academically, of course, but also character-wise and spiritually speaking.
Teachers are very supportive. They're kind of more like friends than just teachers.
I'm able to be myself with the other students and with the teachers, and I'm able to learn what I want to know.
At Living Wisdom School, I can be close to my teachers, and they really care about you, and they can work from where you are and help you grow.
I have a friend who's really interested in music, and I'm more interested in creative writing. And I have another friend who wants to be a comedian, and they can accommodate all of those separate interests. And with the unique experiences, unique offerings here, you find that there are ways to expand on any interest and serve at the same time.
We involve kids in service projects. At first, they're just in the local community service. You get to know other people's realities. You get to relate to them. You get to know what it's like to be old, what it's like to be sick, what it's like to be poor, what it's like to be a minority. Once each year for the older kids, we try to take them outside this whole area in whatever situation comes up where we can involve them in another culture and broadening their idea what service is all about and their life experience. So we began many years ago with working with an orphanage in Mexico.
We're taking buses and trains across Mexico, and there's a flood because it's El Nino, and so we get stuck in the middle of the desert. You're given these opportunities of real life. You know, you're all stuck together in a bus, and people around you are starting to get upset or miserable, and I just remember us starting to sing, and this desire to look at it in a positive way is so huge. So then the next thing is we took a train, and this ended up getting stuck too. We get there super late in the middle of the night, and it's actually snowing, and the hotel isn't there that we thought we were going to be at. So all these huge adventures. For me, I loved it because you're in high school, you want to test your strength. This was a real tangible experience for growth.
I took the girls to Italy, and we ended up helping out at a refugee camp for people coming from the war in Bosnia. So it was a very, very powerful experience.
Getting out there into the world, going to see new places like Mexico, that's really kind of helped me understand more of who I am.
This year we went to Quebec.
I really loved dancing at Quebec in La Cité Écologique. It took courage to do that and to perform for a lot of the people there, but it turned out to be really fun.
Got to experience learning French and playing in the snow, and there's so much about being here that's unique from other schools because they're taking time not just to be like, you will develop more brain power, but you will develop more soul power. You will learn how to be a person, interact with people of different nationalities, and experience life as it will be when you're an adult.
We respect the need for teenagers to have a say in their lives. We ask that they participate in the decision to come here. And they have to go through an interview, listen to what the school's about, and say, that sounds interesting, I think I'd like to try that. And then we ask people to demonstrate that commitment by agreeing to earn part of their own tuition.
As a music teacher, I'm always trying to get more and more time to work with these very, very talented kids that are here. And unfortunately, I have to take my turn in line because the academics are a very strong part of our curriculum. So they spend a lot of time with math, in English, in history, in the sciences. It's amazing that in this past year, despite all of the extra things that these kids do, they scored in the top 2% of the nationwide test scores, top 2%.
When we had our accreditation visit recently, the accreditation committee was commenting that the environment here is unprecedented, probably within the whole United States, maybe within the whole world, in terms of the quality of relationships between the students and the teachers and staff, that there was a much higher degree of mutual respect and support than they'd ever seen in any other school they visited. At this point, we've had a lot of graduates, and we can say they do really well. One of the guys that graduated here, he got an award as the Outstanding Economics Student at Chico State for this past year. They've gotten into different colleges that are hard to get into. Mills, Lewis and Clark, Berea, University of California, Santa Cruz. Places that, you have to have good test scores.
The campus is just breathtakingly beautiful.
I really like it because in between classes, we're in nature.
Almost every child can have an expansive experience of nature, which just thrills them. It just fills them with joy. And you can use that as a base of introducing the whole spiritual realm. Why do we feel that way when we go out and we see the beautiful flowers, or we get to run through the grass, or swing in the trees?
And here are kids that are spending time in group kirtan, and going out and doing service projects, and spending time in music and doing electives. It's really amazing how once you get kids centered and happy, how well they can learn and how much they can pick up. It's like you get them in that right spot, and then they're just sponges that can really just absorb and retain information. So for me, that's one of the great gifts of this school, is that lead them to the understanding of who they truly are inside, what gifts do they have. And then, once the kids feel comfortable in any learning situation, you find that the learning just comes so easily, and the brain development just comes so naturally when everything is in place like this.
This is the graduating class of 2011.